Ciao a tutti! My name is Elizabeth Ransom. I was born in Perugia, Italy, into a family that loves the Lord and is dedicated to serving Him full-time in central Italy. My parents, Fred and Rachel Whitman, had moved to Italy in 1973. They were a constant example of faithfulness and dedication to the Lord's work, regardless of the hardships and discouragements they encountered. When I was 7 years old, we were in the States on furlough, and after once again hearing the gospel, this time presented in a message by my grandfather, I prayed with my mom to accept God's gift of forgiveness and became a child of His. At 10 years of age, I was baptized at Centro Evangelico Battista, and as I grew older, I became more involved in ministry. My parents provided us many valuable opportunities to use our gifts to serve in different capacities on the field, such as music, prison outreach, radio programs, and youth ministries. My brothers and I desired to help out in the ministry in whatever we were able to do. I had the privilege of receiving a rich education from the Italian public school and the Conservatory of Music of Perugia, where I was enrolled in a 7-year flute program.
My name is Daniel Ransom. I was born in 1978 to parents who truly love the Lord. Growing up, I quickly realized that God's Word was at the center of life in our home. At the age of 5, I was enrolled in a Christian school in Websterville, Vermont. My kindergarten teacher began many of the days by sharing with the class from God's Word, often extending to us the invitation to make things right with God. One of these mornings, I accepted this invitation and prayed to become a child of God. A few years later, I was baptized. For several summers, I attended a week of camp in Northfield, Massachusetts. During one of these weeks, after being impacted by the messages I was hearing, I committed my life to missionary service. The summer I turned 13, my family moved from central Vermont to northeastern Pennsylvania. We began attending Summit Baptist Bible Church in Clark Summit, where I became involved with the youth group and in the sound system ministry. This move also included a transition from the small Christian school to public school in the Tunkhannock area district. During my middle and high school years, I became very interested in audio and broadcasting. When the time came to consider career possibilities, I was looking to pursue a job in broadcasting and the training necessary for this.
Dan came to us as an 18-year-old, just out of high school. His parents, since he was going to go into broadcasting, wanted him to have an experience in a Christian radio station before he would go into the secular field. So he came to us for 3 months, ended up staying for 6 years.
In September 1996, I arrived in Italy and began experiencing life and ministry in a different culture. I quickly found that my personality and skill set were a good fit with the culture and ministry in Perugia, Italy. Through some coursework at the University for Foreigners and by spending time with Italians, I rapidly learned the language. Although I made several trips back to the U.S., my short-term trip turned into a 6-year experience. During this time, I began to care deeply for Italians, and in my heart and mind, I arrived at the conclusion that God had a place for me, serving Him in Italy.
Well, Dan has already preached several times at the church. He has a tremendous ability to express himself theologically and also linguistically. And so we're looking forward to his participation in the mix of the speaking and teaching that goes on at the church.
I completed high school during the summer of 2001 and earned a diploma in flute from the Music Conservatory in March of 2002. Being the only believer in my class, I was aware of the responsibility I had to shine the light and speak the truth. I became burdened for my friends and all Italians, people that had not even heard of salvation by grace alone. I had seen missionaries come and go. I had experienced the disappointment and difficulty of ministry in Italy, and I knew that God was preparing me to serve Him full-time in Italy. I became convinced that I needed further training in Bible to better serve Him in this very needy country. At the same time, as Daniel and I worked together at the radio station and with the youth group, we began developing a close friendship.
Through the years, our friendship deepened, and many conversations made clear a mutual desire to spend the rest of our lives together, serving the Lord in Italy. In the summer of 2002, we left Italy to begin school at Baptist Bible College in Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. We entered this time of biblical training with a specific intent of returning to Perugia to assist the Italian church in making disciples of Jesus Christ.
During our college years, we were able to return to Italy during summer and winter breaks, allowing us to see family and friends and to continue our involvement in the various ministries. During the summer of 2003, I had the opportunity to lead a Bible study for middle school kids, and through the study, Senia was introduced to God's Word.
Io 5 anni fa ho iniziato a frequentare la Chiesa Evangelica Battista, dove c'era Liz, infatti grazie a lei ho fatto gli studi e da lì ho veramente capito e sperimentato cos'era la Bibbia, ho letto insieme con lei, ho fatto gli studi e in pratica ho conosciuto la verità. Però sempre quell'estate sono andata in un campeggio dove lì una sera ho aperto il cuore a Gesù.
In December of 2003, we were married in Italy at Perugia's City Hall. The wedding ceremony honored our families and was a public testimony to God's love and grace in our lives. During our time at Baptist Bible College, God provided us several opportunities to be involved with jobs that not only met our needs, but prepared us for ministry in Italy. We were also involved in the youth, music, and sound ministries at Summit Baptist Bible Church, now our sending church. In 2005, Elizabeth graduated with highest honors, majoring in Bible and Biblical Counseling. In 2006, I graduated with a degree in Bible and an emphasis on missions. That same summer, we attended Baptist Mid-Missions Candidate Seminar, and we are now on deputation, looking for churches and individuals who want to partner with us and allow us the privilege of representing Christ in Italy.
Dan and Liz both have a heart for ministry, first of all, and ministry with people. And I have to say that Dan speaks Italian as well, if not better, than any foreign missionary I know in Italy. And so they will be working in the church.
We are excited about returning to Italy to rejoin the Baptist Mid-Missions team that is working alongside the Italian believers in Perugia. The team is comprised of Fred and Rachel Whitman and Jonathan and Melody Whitman. I will be involved in managing the radio station and production of our daily TV programs, as well as writing for our monthly newsletter. These are 3 of the primary outreaches of Centro Evangelico Battista. I will also participate in the teaching and preaching ministry of our church.
I think the most important quality that Dan has that we've seen is he has a heart for people. And he was able to take a young lad who had severe problems with dyslexia. He was a dyslexic boy. And trained that boy to run our radio station, to download programs, to tape at the church and put them on the air. And so he has already trained one young man to do some tremendous work. And I know he just has a heart for people, and he'll be a great addition to our ministry there.
Daniel and I will also work with the youth group and develop relationships for mentoring. I will focus on women's ministries, including regular Bible studies, counseling, and training others to minister as well. I will continue to use my flute and musical preparation whenever I have the opportunity.
Abbiamo delle richieste di preghiera perché abbiamo tanto bisogno delle vostre preghiere per noi che, come voi, e soprattutto che possiamo andare sempre avanti col Signore, non sviarci mai, non andare né a destra né a sinistra, andare sempre avanti con la testa alzata, correre per la giusta strada.
To request more information regarding our ministry, to receive regular updates, or to inquire about partnering with us, please use the contact page on our website, whitmanransom.com. If you prefer, you may send us an email. Our address is italy@whitmanransom.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
E spero proprio che a più presto possano ritornare Dan e Liz da noi, che abbiamo tanto bisogno di loro. E quindi pregate per noi. Ciao!